Hey Libra, welcome to you guys' August 2018 monthly reading. Um, Juno the Gem Tarot. I've already pulled the cards here for you guys, just taking a look at them now. But let's go ahead and get right into it. So for your overall energy for August, you guys have the Page of Pentacles here. Alright, the Page of Pentacles can speak to having like new creative ideas towards business or money or projects, or it can be some type of a message for either receiving a gift of some type of material good or resource, or maybe being the one giving those gifts out. Alright, for your crowning energy, we have the Magician card. This card speaks to manifestation, being a creator, knowing that you have all the tools necessary, the resources to create the life or vision or anything that you like. So this is really good that you guys have this as the crowning energy for the month of August. Alright, the two supporting cards that you have on the side here is the Four of Cups. Alright, the Four of Cups can speak to meditation, reevaluation, kind of thinking things over. It can also speak to boredom, discontent, or even a missed opportunity possibly sometimes, because you see the person here is holding out a cup and then you're completely oblivious to it here, but you have three cups here as well. So it can also stand for a sense of a missed opportunity, or ignoring what's kind of right in front of your face because you might be, up in the air and not really paying attention. And then we also have the Eight of Cups here. The Eight of Cups speaks to kind of wrapping things up with something and kind of heading into another direction, something better, moving forward and leaving kind of something behind. It's not necessarily a negative card, it just means some type of maybe travel, going towards something better for you, but not necessarily a negative card. It's actually a good card. It means progression, or just the beginning stages of leaving something behind that's no longer benefiting you in any way. Alright, so we have two supporting cards at the top and two at the bottom. Here we have the Five of Pentacles. Now the Five of Pentacles speaks about having a lack mentality, being down and out, feeling like you've been kind of left out, overlooked. Again, the emphasis on this card is feeling like you're missing something, like you don't have enough, you're left out in the cold. Another Pentacle card. So I think this reading does have something to do with finances or maybe the workplace, because here's the other card at the top, and this is the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so this speaks to persevering. This speaks to putting in hard work, still not seeing reaping the rewards of your harvest. You're still working. This is patience, and again, just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen. But this is you still very much active, putting in work, and there's a sense of there's still needing work to be done with this card here. Again, another Pentacle. Alright, the two that we have at the bottom here, we have the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords speaks to the end of a cycle, a very painful cycle. If you can see, there's kind of the sun in the background coming up, but this person here has a lot of swords in their back, a feeling of betrayal, defeat, pain, loss, but this is the end of the cycle. The 10, it always means that this is coming to a completion. So that's always a good aspect about this card. I don't think anybody really likes to see this card, but it usually does mean the ending of this feeling. So, alright, the other card that we have here at the bottom is the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is all about kind of moving fast forward, charging ahead with passion, energy. The Knight of Wands may not always have a clear-cut idea of what they're going to do. They just know they're going to do something, basically. It's fast-moving energy, very passionate, feeling like you can take on the world, charging forward really quickly. But concrete ideas may not necessarily be, in the works right now. It just might mean I'm ready to do something, but you're not quite sure what that is. You don't have all the answers, but you have the momentum, the power, the energy behind it to get whatever you need to get done. And then the obstacle or challenge of this month for you guys is the Six of Swords. Alright, so the Six of Swords speaks to, it's similar to the Eight of Cups, where you're kind of leaving something behind. It's actually basically the same thing. You're kind of leaving choppy waters here, right here, and kind of moving to smoother, calmer waters ahead. So there's a lot of emphasis here in the reading with leaving something behind and moving forward to something better, which is good, but this is the obstacle. So just immediately looking at the cards, I do get a sense that this may be about finances or work, just because your overall energy for the month, your main energy is the Page of Pentacles, and then you have the Seven of Pentacles, which speaks about patience, putting in hard work, effort, and not really reaping the reward just yet. Five of Pentacles, again, usually about finances, feeling like you're missing something, you don't have enough money, you may have too much money going out, not enough coming in, type of vibe here. And then to have the crowning energy, which is really interesting and really great, is the Magician. So there's a sense of if you can get into maybe the right mind state, okay, with the Four of Cups, if you can kind of sit down, reevaluate, take a minute to kind of think things over, if you can get yourself in the correct mind state, if you can get more into this Magician and use this kind of energy and resources for your betterment, you can have a much more prosperous life. I think it's just about reevaluating things at work. I'm really getting a sense of this having to do with work. Maybe you're doing something that is not really fulfilling to you, but it's just something that pays the bills, but maybe it's not really paying the bills anymore, so to speak. You could be putting in a lot of effort towards something that you're just not getting what you feel like is an equal pay. Again, the Seven of Pentacles speaks about putting in effort, putting in work, and still kind of waiting for something to come to fruition. So you may be at a job where you're putting in work, you're definitely putting in the effort, you have the fire, passion, you're getting it done, you definitely have a lot of energy here with the Knight of Wands, but you're still waiting on that, maybe that promotion or that pay increase or some type of praise or recognition, and maybe it's not cutting it anymore. Maybe it's leaving you kind of feeling left out and overlooked and not really getting the just due that you feel like you need. If that is the case, you may have to think about finding another job, because there is an emphasis on leaving something behind here with the Eight of Cups. So you may have to really take a time out and maybe start looking into other jobs, okay? Something that, if not another job, maybe getting more into what is like a creative project or hobby for you that you could turn into some type of a job, or excuse me, bring in additional income for you. But there is a sense that something needs to be left behind, whether that's an actual job or whether that's certain responsibilities at a job. Maybe you have too much going on. It could be burden. You could be doing maybe other people's work and maybe not getting the pay for it. There's something that needs to be left behind. Okay, so there's an emphasis here with the Eight of Cups that there's some type of motion or travel that needs to happen. And then you guys have the challenge of the month, which is the Six of Swords, which is again about leaving something behind that's not serving you and moving to something better. So there's definitely something that needs to be reevaluated, and just taken into clearer context that you may need to change, what you do at your job. You may need to do something a little bit more, less tedious. Again, if you're taking a lot more than normally, maybe your boss has asked you to take on somebody else's work just for a short term or whatever, but if it's kind of leaving you with this type of energy, if you feel like you're being like beat up and, that's not worth it, especially if you're not even getting enough money or income for it. So definitely something to take into consideration. I do want to pull a card just to clarify this Page of Pentacles here. So let's get one here. So, Queen of Pentacles. Another Pentacle card here. So I do believe this has to do with finances or money, for sure. Because the Queen of Pentacles is like the epitome of her finances are A1, home life A1, down to earth, grounded, centered, nurturing, very in tune. So for this to be coming out for your overall energy, it's time that you guys embody maybe this quality for the month of August, being more Queen of Pentacles, being on top of your finances, making sure, everything is paid, everything is going out, you're getting enough coming in. So this might, you may want to talk to your boss about a raise, or, again, less work. Maybe you're doing too much and not enough pay. If they're going to have you doing a lot more work, you need to get more pay. You need to feel like it's worth, the effort that you're putting in, but definitely about finances. Alright, what about this Five of Pentacles? Justice. It came out in the reverse. I generally don't read reversals, okay? But the Justice card did come out. I don't really do reversals, but I think the same message rings true regardless. You definitely feel like there's a lack of this. You want more of this. You want more of a balanced pay. You want to feel like you're getting paid for what you do, and that may not be the case, especially if this is clarifying the Five of Pentacles. You may be feeling like this type of energy, but you want this, and you deserve this. So this is what we need to go after. This is what we need to have conversations about. How can we equal this out? How can I get back balance with pay, with work, so I don't feel so bummed out. Alright, one more. Okay. So, Devil card came out. Alright, so, yeah, this could be you just really working a lot excessively, and you might even feel like tied to your job. Maybe there's so much, it may be this sense of you're stuck there. Like you may spend most of your time working, you may not have any free time. Okay? Major Arcana. Excuse me. Throat is a little... But yeah, this to me signals your work life is probably your only life at this point. There's a lot of work. Doesn't seem like there's enough time for anything else, and you're feeling it. So the month of August is definitely a time to reflect on what's important, what you want to do that's more of like happiness for you, because there's not a ton of happy cards here. It's definitely more based on work, creating, putting forth effort, and it's a lot of pentacles. So that speaks to me of work or finances. So you're really stressed out about your finances or your job or both. And again, I'm getting a sense of a workaholic type feeling, like you're just always at the job, maybe not getting a lot of sleep, you're tired, you're overworked, that kind of feeling here for Libra. So, and this is you guys' card, like, Libra, Justice. This is what you guys stand for, like, you kidding me? No, you gotta get that right. Whatever it is, whatever is at work, if it's not actual work, maybe it's co-workers driving you nuts, but yeah, this is definitely a card of excessive toxic behavior characteristics. Overworking can definitely be a toxic behavior, especially if you're not getting enough money for it. You're just working and you're not getting what you feel like you should be getting for it. Yeah, that's a problem. All right, let's see what we got at the bottom of the deck. Empress. Okay. Maybe it's time to tune into more of an Empress vibe. Empress kind of sits back and kind of has things kind of come to her or him. Gender's, not specific here, but she manifests her abundance and her joy. It's just it gravitates towards her. She's reached a point in her life where all that heave ho and work into exhaustion, that's of the past for Empress. She doesn't have to do that anymore. She's very much in tune with herself, in tune with her divine energy, where things kind of just happen for her. Okay, she's not she's no longer in that work energy, but yet she has everything. So maybe take a cue from the Empress this month in August, Libras, and find ways where you can lessen your load and have things gravitate more toward you. Okay? Take time to meditate, think things over, reevaluate if this job is where you want to be, if there's another way you can go about making money, if there's another job you want to apply for or reach out for, maybe this might be the time. Excuse me, sorry. But August looks like a heavy load for you guys, and I think it's time that you, instead of doing a lot of extra hard laborious work, or you guys could, again, do something that's really physically laborious. You could be doing something that takes a lot of effort and work. It may not just be like an office job, or it could be. Either way, it's still a lot mentally, physically, emotionally, so it's not worth it. You definitely need to tap more into, again, your overall crowning energy is the magician. So manifesting, creating, knowing that you have all the resources here to bring about whatever you want. You just may notice that, things start happening easier for you. You start getting maybe work with your help. You might get help with your workload. Your workload may lessen. Your boss may come to you and say, hey, I know you've been doing XYZ. Don't worry about it, this month. Or, just start thinking about things that you would want to see manifest or happen in your day-to-day work life. And I feel as if those things are already happening, kind of draw them to you. Be in a positive spirit, at work. Don't, being negative and talking crazy and all that stuff definitely is not going to help. But start trying to find a better way to get into a more positive mind state, a more creative, receptive mind state. Okay, and let the universe kind of help you with a lot of this, because it is a lot. It's definitely a heavy load, but again, it's coming to an end. So maybe if this has been your workload for the past month or two, maybe in August is the month that you put that to rest. All right, Libras, don't work so hard. All right, life is to be enjoyed. We're not here to be all over the place. Get your balance right. Get back to your fun-loving self. Go out with friends. Don't let the work life beat you up too much. All right. Okay, guys, that's your August monthly reading. I hope you enjoyed it. You can definitely leave comments, likes, let me know how you feel about it. And thanks for tuning in. Bye.